What's up, guys? Today I wanted to do a very simple video to remind everyone that the Amex Platinum card is still the Big Daddy travel card in this game. We've had some pretty constant shade thrown at the Platinum card for the last few months here on the YouTubes, calling it the coupon card, and non-Platinum folks complaining about being in some kind of pop-up jail. So today I'm going to hit you with 5 reasons why I choose to live this Platinum lifestyle and why you might want to consider it as well. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and slap that like button. Let's get right into this one. Guys, this is not going to be a full-blown review because obviously those are everywhere on YouTube, but these are 5 reasons why I have and why I will keep the Platinum card. Hopefully, this can give you some perspective on just how much I value this card and what it gives me. In no particular order, here it goes. Reason number 1, I like to travel. Particularly, I like to stay in hotels. The Platinum card gives me the freedom to stay at the hotels I like, and it gives me the freedom to show loyalty to a particular chain or not. How does it do that? Well, for starters, the Platinum card comes with a $200 yearly statement credit when I use the Find Hotels and Resorts or the Hotel Collection program. This is something that is super easy to use, even for someone who normally uses points for their stays. Let's look a little more into the Find Hotels and Resorts program that the Platinum card holders have access to. See, this is a group of higher-end hotels that are bookable through the Amex site. Using this program to book gives you some really hardcore benefits and perks, a lot like having higher-end status with a hotel, even when you don't. Benefits include free breakfast for 2, a room upgrade, early check-in, late checkout, free Wi-Fi, and a room credit. The room credit could be different depending on where you stay, but it's normally like $100 for food or for the spa. The program is great, and when you consider the credit, it actually becomes a must to use at least once a year. A lot of folks report using this benefit for the Vegas Strip, and that seems to be a great idea. How else does the Platinum card enhance my hotel stays? Well, it gives me gold status with both Marriott and Hilton. Now, I'll be the first to admit that gold status within the Marriott ecosystem might not be all that valuable, but you just never know. With Hilton, however, gold status grants me the food and beverage credit when I stay at most Hilton properties. That means when I'm at the Conrad, those stays will get me $50 a day for food and drinks for myself and my wife. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but after 15 to 20 nights or so, that could be a lot of cheddar. I've stayed mostly at Hyatt's this year, but I've still hit 15 nights at Hilton properties, and while that credit differs from property to property, I think I've still gotten right around $550 in value for having at least gold status. Now, you guys know I also have the Hilton Aspire card, and that gives me diamond status, but if I ever decide to downgrade, that gold status can be very underrated. Reason number 2 is one that if you follow the channel, you already know. The league-leading lounge access. The Platinum card gives me access to the global lounge collection, and that includes over 1,400 Priority Pass lounges worldwide, Plaza Premium lounges, Lufthansa lounges, and Delta Sky clubs when I fly Delta. More importantly, the card gets me into the American Express Centurion lounge, and my home airport just opened its very first lounge ever, and it's an Amex Escape Lounge. Now, let's take a minute to explain what this means. See, like I said before, I travel. Even when I'm traveling less, I still need a place to relax, grab something to eat, and that's on a good day. On a bad day, the lounge gives me somewhere I can go when I have a delay or even a cancellation. See, I fly out of Columbus, Ohio, and I normally have to connect on most of my trips. So if I have a 2-hour layover, you can't expect me to sit out there in the bullpen and listen to that Adam J's wife scream at the top of her lungs at her nasty kids while they run circles around me sneezing and singing about some baby shark. No thank you. I don't deserve to live like that. Now, I want to mention, guys, that I'm kind of joking when I say things like that. I'm really not better than anyone else. Well, not better than anyone else that also has a Platinum card. I guess if you really needed to quantify a lounge trip, I normally eat a small meal there and have a cup of coffee. I would say at an airport, that's at least $25 to $50. and I try to visit the lounge if at all possible. Let's stay on the topic of lounges for just a moment. Layovers are tough for some of us, and you can imagine how tough they are for kids. Taking the boy to the lounge for some snacks sometimes makes for actual father-son time. It's also very cool to be able to take care of your significant other while traveling. Being a big shot has its perks, so it's not all about the Nashville chicken salad sandwiches in the Atlanta Sky Club. Oh, and there is booze too. I don't even think I've had a drink at a lounge, but I'm sure one day that will happen. In summary, the Platinum Card can turn a stressful, pain-in-the-butt place into a pretty cool place to find some food, relax, maybe even get some work done. It's a game changer for sure. Number 3 is something that the haters love to discuss, and that is the credits. I can totally understand that some of these credits are completely nonsense, even for me. $300 Equinox credit? Guys, I've been going to gyms for 25 years, and I've never even seen an Equinox gym. So I think that one is silly, but these other credits kind of match up with my lifestyle, even the ones that might stick out as an oddball. The $200 FHR credit we mentioned earlier, it's easy. Once a year, no problem. $200 airline incidental fee credit, boom. I liquidate that day one. $240 entertainment credit, I use this for Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and I think I use it to pay my Sirius XM bill. Easy to use, and it fits me. The $200 Uber credit isn't exactly something I like. It's split up as a monthly credit, but I don't rent cars when I travel, so I can usually take 2 Ubers every trip. The Uber credit might not be my favorite, but I'll use it. The $189 Clear credit, some folks I see question this, but I would pay full price for this service. This is something that saves me time and makes my journey less stressful, and those people that work at Clear have always been super nice to me. I love the Clear TSA PreCheck combo, and I think it's a must. Now, for the oddball, the Walmart Plus membership. I don't think I would purchase this, but since I have it, I have found myself using it probably quarterly. School supplies and other stuff that I might not be able to order on Amazon, I order from Walmart. Now, am I one of your typical Walmart shoppers? Not really, but I use the service and it does benefit me. So that is $1,184 in credits that I don't have to go out of my way to use. Might not be the same for you, but for me, this more than mitigates that annual fee, plus the increased authorized user fee. So I don't love the credits, but they don't aggravate me either. Number 4 may be a little difficult to explain to everyone, but I like the fact that this card comes with some heavy authorized user perks. So much has been said recently about the increased fee, but it didn't really affect me much. $20 increase. What do I get for that now $195 yearly fee? Well, it gives me peace of mind if my wife is traveling by herself or with my son. I know she has a place to get in out of the hustle and bustle and get a reprieve if her travel plans get kind of hectic. Her having an authorized user Platinum card means we can visit the lounge more often, and that could allow us to have a breakfast pre-flight, saving some money. And this next thought might be controversial, petty, or trivial, but it is nice to have your wife carrying a Platinum card. Most of us in the credit card space know it is not a big deal, but there are times where you get a more favorable reaction from some folks, and there is that phone number on the back of the card, and I know that if my wife has to call it, she's going to get world-class customer service. So while I don't care about some of these opinions, I know there are folks out there that do, and sometimes it does change a stranger's perspective. So here's a pro tip, nephews. You might not care about a fancy watch or a metal Platinum card, but those things could one day open a door or even start a conversation. And finally, number 5, we can't have a conversation about American Express without mentioning world-class customer service. It's just not comparable to the other issuers. I will give you a cool example. I booked a trip through American Express Travel to Tokyo, Japan a while back. As the trip got closer, I realized I was not even going to be allowed to enter that country due to what was going on in the world. So you would think Japan Airlines would let me cancel my trip, right? No. After around 10 phone calls, I still had no clue how I was going to get my money back. I had a plane ticket to Tokyo, and I was not going to even be allowed to enter Tokyo. I even thought about just going and then saying, hey, now what are you going to do with me? But I ended up calling American Express. After some back and forth, Amex called Japan Air, and they couldn't even convince them to refund me my money. So what did American Express do? They credited me the full amount to my Platinum card. I didn't have to do that. It was my responsibility to handle that, but Amex stepped in and they made it right. I have a few different examples of American Express going above and beyond after I do something stupid. Even when it's my fault, they seem to have my back, and that also goes for chargebacks and disputes as well. American Express could be the #1 company I would prefer to deal with when something goes wrong. And for that, I keep this overpriced charge card. The criticisms of the card are normally fair, but if you travel often, and you'd like to travel in style, then this card could be for you. I'll keep it as long as it makes sense, and right now, even at that ridiculously high fee, it's staying in my wallet. If you want more information on this card or others, check out my card link in the description below. Using the link supports the channel, and it helps me deliver you mostly sponsor-free videos. For those of you that have used the link, I thank you. Guys, I will see you in the lounge if you have stayed around all the way to the end. I thank you once again, and I appreciate every single one of you.